What's up, everybody? It's Quincy from That Good Shit, and I'm here with...
Alici.
Alici, how are you today?
I'm good. Beautiful day out here. Late September. Last day of September.
Yeah, we got the fall vibes going. You know, we're in Central Park with it, having a good time. We just been, walking around. How's your day been so far? What did you do, when you woke up?
I drank some tea. I love to start my day and drink tea, and then I did yoga class.
What kind of tea?
It's a mix between a throat coat and this, power-up tea that has, caffeine and, lemon and, chrysanthemum. It's good. It's good.
Need all the herbs, but also, caffeine is, huge in the mornings for me.
I'm not a coffee girl.
Yeah.
I'm a matcha and tea girl, so good to mix both up.
Do you have a favorite, brand of tea, or is it just, it's the custom-made?
I just love those, the yogi teas, or the tea that has, the little messages on the back, and brighten your day up.
Yeah, I fuck with that. Let's just start off with where are you from? Where are some of the places you're from? Because I feel like you're from a lot of places, but where are you from primarily, and where have you lived before?
So I was born in Brazil, and then when I was young, we moved to Seattle. Then when I was 8 years old, moved to England, lived there in Cambridge, and then I did high school in Seattle again, but always going back to Brazil. Now I live in New York. I've lived in New York for a while. I did college in Boston, so I've lived in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But Brazil is home base for me.
What school did you go to in Boston?
I went to Berklee College of Music.
How was that? What was that experience like?
It was definitely an interesting experience. I would love to go back and tell myself, if I could go back, I would tell myself to be, more fearless and don't worry about anyone else and just keep doing my thing. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad I met the people I did going there.
I feel like there's so many, great musicians that come out of Berklee, obviously, but, I feel like this recent classes of Berklee has so much going on and just so many new ideas. Just it's a really cool incubator for a lot of singer-songwriter, instrumentalists, but also just musicians like yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Berklee has a really good way of connecting people and having people meet each other. I met my best friend at Berklee, and I met a lot of my band at Berklee, and it really helps putting all these artists in one place.
So who is in your band, and what is your primary band situation? How did your group come together?
So my best friend, musical director, is Nathan Dias, literally best. He makes amazing music, also from Brazil. We met at Berklee. We actually didn't really hang out until we both moved here, but he is the best. He's I'm the woo-woo, and he's the brains and helps me organize my musical life, get everyone together. Love him so much. He helped me so much make this album that I just released, and he's always playing with me and helping me organize rehearsals and listen to his music too. Yeah. Nathan Dias. Then I have my keys player, Wayne. He's amazing. Saxophone player, Isaiah. Shout out. He's amazing. Guy, drums, amazing. Really blessed. Love my band. They're amazing.
You also had Isaiah, the saxophone player, at the Axel Arigato show last week.
I love to play a duo set if I can have my band, or if I don't want to play solo, I do voice, guitar, and sax. I play the guitar and the voice. And and it's cool because the saxophone kind of sings with me, I always say. Yeah.
That's super cool. I really fuck with that performance too. I I feel the full band is cool, but I feel to see you, especially when it's more stripped back, less produced at the Axel store, just you, guitar, saxophone. It feels it gives more room for your vocals to just really just soak up the room and just soak up the track and soak up the song. Whereas I feel on the album, you don't get to appreciate that as much.
Thanks. I feel as a musician, I like having my band because it's my security. Everyone's with me, and I can kind of relax, and there's so much going on. And with saxophone, I feel that way too. It's he's there with me, he helps me. It's two of us. Solo, I've gotten I can do it now. I've always can do it, but it feels good to be able to play solo as well. It's nice to do every show differently. It keeps everyone engaged and be able to play a lot of different shows.
You also did a Euro tour recently too, and so you did the Euro tour. You've been performing a lot in Brooklyn and Bushwick area. The Axel Arigato release as well. I'm wondering through all of the performances that you could think of in recent times, what has been your consistently favorite song to perform?
I do love playing Souvenir because it's so, I go slow with it. It's nice, especially playing solo. It's a good one. I usually talk to the people. It's so fun to play because I can kind of my guitar can kind of sing too, and that's a fun one to play. And I love playing with the Saudade too, and just sing that Saudade part and do it different every time.
Yeah.
And I love playing Kiss of Life at the end of every show. It's like a fun little, let's wrap this up and sing it with me if you know it.
Yeah. I fucking loved Kiss of Life at the end. Like, that was my first time, like, seeing your performance, and I wasn't expecting it at all. It was, like, such a cool surprise, and it felt like, I don't know, it felt like it brought the whole room together, like, when you did it, too.
Yeah, it's fun. Cause people are, if you know me, you know I love that song. If you don't know me, you probably know that song. And so you're like, oh, and then you see the mesh.
What does saudade, like, mean as, like, closely translated to English as possible?
So saudade is an intranslatable word that we have in Brazil. And it's like, it's almost like an emotion. It's a feeling. It's a longing. It's like a nostalgia. It's like, oh, I feel saudade right now. It's like I have a nostalgia, a longing to go back to something. It's like more than I miss you, almost.
Yeah. Considering the context of the word and, like, it not having a direct translation to English, coming to a English-speaking audience, but, like, also taking it back to, like, your home place speaking Portuguese, what does, like, bridging that connection mean to you? And, like, how do you think that song translates the meaning?
So in Brazil, we have this phrase called matar saudade, which means to kill saudade. So it's like, oh, I can't wait to matar saudade. I can't wait to kill the feeling of missing you. So if you miss someone, you haven't seen your mom in a while, you would call her and be like, oh, we need to matar saudade soon. Like, we need to, like, kill this feeling. We need to hang out soon. We need to see you soon. And actually, when I wrote this song, it kind of came to me in a dream. I was in Greece with a friend of mine, and I was just with people, and everyone... If you go to Brazil, you learn about this word saudade because it's just like everywhere. They would just be like, I had from my friends being like, oh, I love this phrase in Brazil, matar saudade, like I love it. And I was like, oh, and I kept thinking about it. And it came up in my mind of just like, matar saudade de você, na 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 na. This melody came to my head, and the whole song is like, oh, I'm here, but I can't appreciate it because I miss you. And I think that's something so universal. Everyone's felt that, whether it be romantically, an emotion or a feeling or anything. It's a universal feeling, so everybody knows it, and I feel the song has this way of just being like this yearning, this like loop of like, I want to see you again, I miss you.
That's super cool. I mean, that's obviously like one of my favorite songs on the album. Like, I listen to that song all the time, and I feel like as someone who doesn't speak Portuguese like fluently, I feel like the emotions and the intent behind the song still come through so well that it's just like, even though like I didn't know the like meaning of saudade before I heard the song, you know, I still like kind of had that feeling, and it like triggered that same emotion for me. What do you think is behind that? Like, how do you get your songs to translate even if you don't speak the language?
I don't know. I think it's also what it means to someone else. I met this girl, and she had been to Brazil, and she had a saudade tattoo. She's not Brazilian, but like now she loves that song Saudade, and like it really resonates with her. And now there's people that like never knew this word before, and now they know it. I get texts from people being like, oh, Saudade made me think of you. And I think it's a really cool thing to be able to use like music and melodies, and like now if they go to Brazil, they have something that they know how to say. I don't know, it's a beautiful thing.
I want to talk to you about another song that like you released before. It's not on the album. You released it before the album. Can you tell me how to pronounce it? I looked it up.
Preciso Perdoar.
Yeah, wait. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it again. Yeah, do it. Say it again.
É preciso perdoar.
Yeah, like what does that mean?
It means I have to forgive. I didn't write this song. This is a really famous. You know it?
Well, I heard the João Gilberto's
original song. It's like a classic Brazilian song. Like, it's so beautiful. It's always been one of my favorite songs. It's like the most beautiful song ever. Listen to the OG if you haven't.
What is the OG? What is your OG, I guess is a better question.
My OG is São Gilberto. Yeah. São Gilberto version. É preciso perdoar. It's so pretty. It's so simple. So nice.
I love the like break that you have on that song, or like your version of that song. Yeah, like with the like little dub echo like towards the end, or like it like echoes out a little bit. What made you kind of like add that little spice in there? I feel like that like gives it like your flavor to it, even though it's like a different song.
I was performing that song in Paris a lot like last year, and we would, because the song is like que chora, the end, and then we would go into oh ariario, opa, opa, opa. Like I would have a little medley with that song, going into another song, Que Mais Que Nada, and I wanted to add that into the recording, but it felt too forced, like adding that song into the other song, so I just kept the guitar progression and kept that going and created that little like outro dub.
I really fuck with that part, but like I said, it just like it feels like you bring your own kind of life to it with that, like even though it's like kind of like a small alteration or like a small addition, I feel like that's like really like what separates it, makes it feel like more contemporary, even though like we could talk about the Stan Getz or the João Gilberto like version like all we want, but I feel like the Alici version specifically has like
Alici version
it has a special place, you know.
Yeah, I like it too because it's very like through that time I was going through like things with that song, the lyrics were really like what I was going through, and I loved how it can be a modern version. I had always wanted to do that, like take an OG song like that and make it into my own version. And I do that again on the album with Lágrimas Negras, that song being like a classic Brazilian song. One of my favorite songs, I kind of added my own little twist to it, made it more blues, and I want to keep doing that with the classic Brazilian songs.
Yeah. I'm wondering like what other Brazilian artists inspire you or just like help motivate you, or do you like sometimes listen to for guidance?
I mean, for me, Gal Costa, she's my queen. Like, I love her so much. If you don't know her, you should. Gal Costa, she's the best. She's had this like amazing look, vibe. She was like really just amazing in that era. Caetano Veloso, of course. Rita Lee, I love her so much. She's like the rock star of like the Brazilian era. Of course, João Gilberto, but there's so many. I'm like blanking, but I love the Brazilian artists, like the OGs. Those to me mean so much. Brazilian rock as well. Yeah.
What are some non-Brazilian artists or even more contemporary people that you like look to for the same thing?
Well, Sade, she's also my queen. Love her so much. I love Portishead, also back in that era. I used to love her. Love J Dilla in the terms of like beats. Madlib, like we were talking earlier, like that. I love that kind of like realm and mixing it up. Bob Marley and like more reggae style, like Sister Nancy, like things like that. Like I love mixing these worlds.
Hell yeah. We were talking earlier about how you like started making beats like during COVID and like really got into your like producer bag. You have Girasol, you have the side project.
Girasol, sunflower in Portuguese. It's like my little fun, little crazy beats that are just like whatever, and I release them.
Do you have like any producers in mind that like kind of inspired that area of your like music?
Super J Dilla. I would listen to him all the time, and I would just like listen to instrumental beats, MF Doom. Like I would just listen to them all the time in that era. Sometimes like lyrics become too much, so I love listening to instrumental music and beats, and so I was so inspired by that.
Do you have a favorite like J Dilla or MF Doom album?
His instrumentals, J Dilla, number 16. So good. So specific, but such a good loop.
How do you think your ear as a producer and just like your love for like hip-hop beats and J Dilla and MF Doom inspires your music as like a bossa nova singer, R&B like artist, you know, blues, jazz? Like how do they combine and like make you Alici?
I think that even like with Preciso Perdoar, like that really goes to show the mixing of the realms, of bringing them together and making something more beaty, but with that bossa influence always. And my music is just very, very flow. It's very go with the moment. It's everyone in the same room at the same time making something. And I think that's kind of like the essence of like hip hop and R&B and like even like rap music. You get in the studio, you lay down your line, and cool. Do we want to keep that or not? You know, that's kind of how my music flows too in my songwriting process.
I mean, like it's always interesting to see how like music intersects and like how different artists are like finding inspiration in like completely like different realms from like the music that they make too, you know. Being here in New York, like the birthplace of hip hop, like how do you think that motivates like especially like this new album? I feel like there's a lot of like more like hip hop influence.
I don't know, I feel like it's very much like I was saying, like it's flow, it's here right now. It's in this like moment, but it's also timeless. And I feel like all of New York is this timeless energy. Like everyone, we could be here at the park, and this park has lots of history. The studio where I recorded has lots of history. The people have a lot of history, and so the music will have history itself, and history will keep building.
Now, like, kind of continuing into the, like, more contemporary, but, like, in Brazil. Do you fuck with, like, the contemporary, like, music coming out of Brazil?
I mean, I love the music coming out of Brazil. Like my friend Bruno Berklee, Batata Boy, also Ana Frango Elétrico. She is amazing. It's just her album is like one of the best. Even Baila Desejo. Like there's so many cool people like making music in Brazil, and it's such a cool scene. And I love being able to be in that scene and in here too.
Yeah. Do you fuck with baile funk?
Yes, but I don't really know so much. I just go to the parties and I dance. That's all I do.
So you don't think there's going to be like an Alici baile funk song like later?
I would love Alici baile funk, Alici reggaeton, Alici Afro beats is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
Mark my words, there will be Alici Afro beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Alici Burna Boy collab like later?
Burna Boy collab, that'd be fire.
Where's your favorite place to like listen to music?
I love to walk and just listen to music. Honestly, that to me is one of my favorite things. Yesterday was a rainy day and I was just walking and I don't know, I was listening to music in my headphones, like discovering new songs. Like, I love that so much. And at home, like I have my speakers, like it's nice.
Do you have like a walking playlist?
I have so many playlists. Like I'm a playlist, like I'm very organized with my playlists. Like it's very specific. I feel like my playlists are more of moods and like situations and like things that I want to hear. So I don't have like a walking playlist. It's more of like how am I feeling in this walk and what mood do I want to dive into and where do I want to take myself with the music.
What was the last playlist that you listened to?
Let's see. I was listening to Instrumental Piece Together, which is a playlist of me and my boyfriend Miles that we like put all instrumental music together and we like have our instrumental music playlist.
Well, like list off some artists. Like who's on that?
Luke Man, Lucy Navi, Dominique Dumont. It's a lot of just like instrumental artists. Dean Blunt, Flying Lotus, Arcade Fire.
What Flying Lotus song is on there? I love Los Angeles.
Oh, Mike is there. This vibe. Sometimes I feel like lyrics are too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's good, like, I love lyrics, but sometimes I'm like, I need to just have some, like, sound. I love also listening to hertz. Like, frequencies.
Yeah, just white noise frequency.
Not white noise, like, noise of being, like, abundance, peacefulness. Like, I love listening to that stuff. Especially, I feel like when I'm writing my music and I'm missing an album, it's very much like I need instrumental music.
Yeah. It's super, I don't know, like refreshing, I guess.
Super refreshing and super, sometimes your mind can, because my mind is always thinking, like I feel like your mind can keep thinking and then the instrumental music can kind of go with your mind.
Kind of wrapping up here, you know, I'm wondering if there's like anything that you want to say to anything before we wrap up, like completely. Is it drink more water? Is it listen to more beats? Is it listen to more J Dilla? Or like go to Brazil? Which one is it?
It's definitely drink more water. Everyone should be drinking water. That's the number one thing that we should be doing in this world. It's definitely go to Brazil. Come to Brazil. Vem pro Brasil. As anyone you see in the comments who wants to come to Brazil, I will be there in January, February. It's listen to my album, Souvenir, that just dropped. And keep being you and making what you're supposed to make and find fulfillment in your life.
Thank you, Alici, bruh. This was so much fun.